Hey folks, so we're continuing our tour of Cowboy Christmas, and we're here at booth 3800, the legendary Kerry Kelley Bits and Spurs. Hi Alex.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good. Staying pretty busy, yeah.
Awesome. So, what makes your Bits and Spurs so popular?
What a lot of people like them, first of all, we're based in Texas. They're all handmade, all made here. Kerry's been doing them for quite a bit of while. Everyone just likes them. Really good quality, really durable. One good thing about our bits is we do a 30 days kind of policy on them. People can try them as much as they want. Kind of get a feel for them. If they don't like them, we take them back, we swap them around. Kerry also has a lifetime guarantee on his bits. If a bit breaks, we send it back to us. We'll give him a new one. The good thing about Kerry is Kerry's been in the Western industry for a while. He rides, he ropes, and so he knows how important bits and spurs are when it comes to someone who makes a career out of it. They're tools for people, and just like anyone else, you have to have the right tools to get it done. So Kerry really puts his time and energy and time into cleaning it.
Man, it's all been blowing up so much lately. Everybody's talking about Kerry Kelley Spurs being the top Spurs to use. So, what has been your experience with that, like as far as how everything has grown?
It definitely has grown. I think a lot too, especially Kerry was mentioned on Yellowstone. So since then, people love to come look at it. But it has people. The way they say it is they're like, we know that these spurs are going to hold up. They like the craftsmanship and he puts into it. And we've just seen a lot of people, a lot of interest in our spurs. We keep spurs on hand in our store all the time, and we update our website with the new spurs we get every Friday. And people call and tell us. I set an alarm on my phone for Fridays that I know you guys are going to update your inventory. And so we've been really blessed with people being interested in our program.
Yes, ma'am. We all have heard that young lady that annoyed Rip in the back of the truck talking about Kerry Kelley Spurs.
Yes.
Oh shit! These are Kerry Kelley Spurs. Whoo! I bet these sons of bitches sing all the way down the barn alley. Goddamn! You need to get you some of these.
How much are they?
They're like $1,000.
$1,000.
Hey, cool shit ain't cheap, and cheap shit ain't cool. Okay? Some Kerry Kelley Spurs and a Pedro Pedrini saddle. You may not be a cowboy, but by God, you'll love it.
So right here, these are our selection of plain bits. These are all of our Cowboys bits. The way it works is we have different types of shanks and a bunch of different type of mouthpieces. Kerry can make any of the shanks that we offer with any different mouthpiece. Our typical in-stock bits, they range from shanks that are 6.5 inches to 8.5 inches, and all our different styles, they go up by half an inch. For example, this shank right here we call the 50 shank. It's just a little nice short 6.5 inch shank. A lot of people like it, especially because with these rings, people can hook up a martingale to it. From there we go up to this shank. This is what we call our 65 shank. This one's probably one of our most popular shanks. It's a 7.5 inch shank. A lot of people like it because it still is a shorter shank, has quick reaction. Then from there we move on to our O2S shank. That one's going to be a 7.5 inch shank. From there we go to what we call our 7 shank, and that's an 8 inch shank. And then finally, this is our longest shank. We call it a 10. A lot of people refer to it as Calvary shank as well. And this is going to be an 8.5 inch shank. A couple of our really popular ones is this mouthpiece bit right here. Once again, that's our 65 shank with what we call a 20 mouthpiece. This is a really popular correction that a lot of people like Kerry's corrections. Is right where the port and the base meet. He likes to do the rounded edges versus some corrections that have, the sharp corners. With the rounded edges, it just gives a little bit more tongue relief, so it's slightly more forgiving in some different corrections. Another mouthpiece that we just came out with, Kerry made, we call this one right here, we call this the Santo mouthpiece. A lot of people like it because it falls in between a mullen and our chain port. A lot of people like it because it's pretty soft, it's good for a sensitive horse. You still have some brakes on the side, so if you need some bend and some movement, you got that. Also, if you have a pretty busy horse, like look at this bits, a lot of people like to have this cricket in there. Another popular one right here. A lot of people like this 7 shank. Like I said, once again, it's that 8 inch shank. It's a little bit longer. You get a little bit more leverage with it. With it being swooped back, it's going to have a little bit of a slower reaction versus one of these shanks that are more straight up and down, those are gonna have a little bit 3 actually. What's really cool about our bits though is a lot of people, different people and different disciplines in the Western industry, they use our bits, whether it's barrel racers, team ropers, cutters, and reiners. We all find that they kind of like the same mouthpieces. The cutters and reiners tend to stay with more of our mouthpieces, where a lot of ropers, they like to do some of our corrections and portage chains, a lot more of our broken bits. But we try to keep, like I said, we don't typically have every single mouthpiece and every single shank on hand. Kerry does make bits to order. If we never have anything in stock, people can call into the store, put an order with Kerry. He usually gets them done pretty quick. The wait time on them is about 15 business days.
Awesome, and y'all have some used ones too.
Yes, sir, yes, as you can see in that corner. Another good thing about Kerry's bits is we take trade-ins all the time, so people will come in, bring bits. We kind of just take a look at them, see the condition they're in. We give them a trade-in value, whether it just be for credit or people bring them in and kind of do some swapping. So we do that, and we've found that Kerry's bits tend to keep their quality. People, they're really popular. Like I said, a lot of people like the used ones too because they kind of start, you can see when they get older, they start to rust the patina. People like that look and the shiny look.
Awesome, and y'all also got some leather goods?
Yes, sir, we do. So we work with a couple different leather makers. We work with Greg Lewis. He does some of our split here. Cheney is another one of our leather makers. The way those work is they make all the leather and Kerry makes all the hardware for them. So those are just some of the leather makers we work with. Over here too, it's an action response. We have these first. This is a local guy. He's right up the road from Weatherford. His name's Chad Jones. He hand tools all of these. He does an awesome job for us. He does 2-tone and 1-tone. Once again, he does all the leather tooling, and Kerry hand makes all these buckles. They're all stamped with his name on the back, Kerry Kelley. We send them to Chad, and he rigs them up and ties them on for us. So those are just a couple of the workers that we work with.
And now the best part, what y'all are best known for is the spurs.
Yes, sir. These are right here. You can see we have right here on this side. Those are going to be our men's spurs. On this side, we have our women's spurs. One thing people really liked about Kerry spurs as well is he makes right here. We call this a ledge. Right here on the bottom of the spur, he likes to put a lip on them. He didn't do it before. He's been doing a little bit more often now, and a lot of people like it because what it does is when you put that spur on your boot, it tucks perfectly, kind of where your boot or sole meet, keeps it from bouncing around when you're riding. A lot of people like that because they say that it kind of fits better. All of our spurs, our men's spurs, the way they run, it's the band size. Kerry calls us 100%. Every single one of our men's spurs is that size. Kerry's really good at too. People all the time that they buy spurs, they happen to be too big, too small. If they're local, they typically bring them in. A lot of times people ship them in and Kerry adjusts them to fit their boots. They're a little bit better. Our women's spurs, we do sizings on those. So we have what we call sizes 85 through 92. As you can see, this, for example, is our size 85 versus a true men's 100. You can see here that the band is not as big, not as wide. What we like to do with these two, we typically, when someone comes in and is looking for a pair of spurs, we ask them their boot size, and then depending on what their boot size is, we can kind of fit what spur is going to fit them best. And that's the best fit. These are just some, like I said, some of our common in-stock spurs. Our fully custom orders are actually 2.5 to 3 years out at the moment. So a lot of people like our in-stock because typically it'll be a spur that they like, and Kerry will personalize those with a name, brand, or initials. And where that typically takes them about 5 to 6 weeks. So people tend to lean towards that because we'll have a pair that they like, and then they can get them personalized and don't have to, wait as long.
Awesome, and that's kind of why that other side is left kind of naked,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. And so the way it works too, Kerry does, as you'll see with his pair, he does make a couple pairs that have like blank oval or circle. Whenever we have a pair like that, he can fit typically initials. Some brands he won't, just because Kerry's very particular. He likes them to look good. He likes it to be able to see. So sometimes he doesn't think they'll fit there very well. He won't do some certain brands, but he can do the personalization there. Anything that has the silver laid all the way across, personalization does go on the horse side of the spur.
Awesome, and if anybody wanted to order something from y'all's website, or where could they find that?
Yep, they can go to our website. Our website is kellyspurs.com. On there we have a page with all of our shanks, all of our mouthpieces, all of the spurs. Anything that is on our website, spur-wise, we have on hand in the store. We do update our website every Friday at 1 o'clock, and so Kerry brings us the newest Spurs throughout the week, and on Friday afternoons is when we upload them and drop them on the website. But they can go online, order through there, or if they have any questions, they can always call in. I work in the store full time, so I'm there, and I'm always more than willing to help people out with whatever questions that they have.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alex.
Awesome, of course. Super nice meeting you.
Have a good one.